refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their gilt rings. Right, the bouncer's gilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
Razaban, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Lauren, I know you mean business a lot of the time, but there's a big smile on your face tonight. History in the making, the first ever women's British champion. How did that feel?
Yeah, you know, I can't really sum it up really. It was a complete honour to find out that, you know, I was, well, myself and Kirsty being the first two, you know, to box for it. This week I've kind of, even though obviously about the press conference, the way in the interviews, I've tried to kind of, even though it's there, like not think about it too much, not put too much pressure on myself, just kind of go out and enjoy it. I had a good camp. I knew she was, you know, she's a fit girl, she's game, she's tough, so I knew I needed to be on my A game, and yeah, listen to Rob and Gary in the corner tonight, and yeah, box well.
You more or less won every single round on the judges' card. Obviously, it wasn't as easy as those numbers portrayed, but she was still a tough cookie. Oh
yeah, she's a tough girl. Hit her with some clean shots as well. Fair play to her, and I know obviously looking at her previous fights as well, she's a come forward fighter, and I know she's, you know, listen to her this week. You know, she trains, even though she's a teacher. Hats off to her. She trains 2-3 times a day, so fair play. And she's above British level. You know, she's been in them European fights. So yeah, like I said, I took her serious. Had a good camp, probably the best. I know people say it all the time, but probably my best camp so far. I've had some really good sparring, you know, with the GB girls. They're top level amateurs. So even though they're amateurs, you know, they're elite level of boxing, you know, skill level, and it's been great sparring for me.
Do you feel like the fact that it was such a quick turnaround from your fight, was it end of sometime in February or
March? Yeah, March 11th,
early,
I think it was, yeah.
There's such a quick turnaround that you were already in kind of good condition. I just spoke to Lawrence Okoli as well, and he said, like, he's gone into camp at such a lightweight that he doesn't actually need to lose a lot of weight for his fight with Blim Smith.
Yeah, honestly, like, for me, obviously Paris I was probably more nervous for because I'd been out of the ring since October, and obviously last year I would have liked to be more busier, but like I said, I had that little niggle, which I needed to get over. And like you said, for myself, and I know Karis is the same, when we're out boxing regular, you know, it just becomes, you know, you're a little bit more settled. You haven't got that, like, I suppose, ring rust nerves and stuff like that because you haven't long boxed. So yeah, 100%, that helped me massively, you know, coming into this fight week. And obviously, I think having Karis by my side as well. She's going now 3 weeks later, so we're always, you know, in camp with one another. We're boxing, you know, either 2 or 3 weeks apart, but it works out really well for us as well, and even better for her because she stays on a diet.
She'll love that. She'll love that.
No, she won't.
We can hear her in the background, as always. What's next? Is it a quick turnaround again, or is it a little bit of time off before you go again?
So yeah, I'm speaking this week to Ben and that and John, and I think they're quite, obviously they got this show now in June, but then I think it goes quite quiet over like July, August time. But there is, Ben said to me that he wants to put a show on in Cardiff in September, so you know, that would be, I'd love, that's a dream of mine, you know, to box in Cardiff, get the Welsh fans behind me. I've never really had, you know, their homecoming. I box all around the world. So, you know, to have the Welsh fans there, that would be obviously pretty special, you know, to be walking up to them.
So, as amateur, you dominated the whole game. As a professional, you get your first belt. Are there goals and ambitions this year, before the end of the year, to add international titles to your collection?
You know, for me, I just listen to Rob. He knows the game inside out, you know, and my full trust is in him. And whenever, obviously, he deals with John, and whenever they talk behind wherever, he knows how good I am, and, you know, I keep improving all the time, and that's all I want to keep doing, really, is keep learning. You know, you can look at my amateur background, but this professional game is a completely different game, and it's like I'm starting, obviously, not from the bottom, because obviously I've got that experience, but, you know, it's a different game. Tonight, obviously, my 4th professional fight. got this title, and yeah, if obviously speaking now, maybe in September or the end of the year, the European or something like that, then yeah, why not? But that'll obviously come down to Rob wherever, you know, he says goes.
So where's the belt going? Have you made a spot in the house somewhere where it's going to go nicely so Karis can look at it every day as well?
I'm sure she'll have hers, you know, soon. But no, we're going to have a TV wall built out, and then yeah, obviously have some gaps down the side for us to fill, you know, our belts in there. Obviously we got big ambitions, big dreams, and obviously we got a small team, and it just works.
So with Karis obviously out in a couple of weeks, I'm guessing you're going to go back to Sheffield next week as well and support her with that?
Yeah, I'm back in on Monday.
Bank holiday?
And we don't know what a bank holiday is, trust me. We've been in every week, we haven't seen a bank holiday. But no, I'm going home to my nan tonight, back to Wales, and then Sunday tomorrow I'll chill out, and then back in the car. I'll do the drive-in on Monday because she's been my chauffeur this week, so back to camp on Monday, and then yeah, supporting her. I'll probably have a few days off, but I'm going to take over because it's my birthday in June and she's paid for me to go on all. We're going on all day together, so.
That's going to be a surprise.
So yeah, a few days in the sun I think we both deserve, because you know we've been in camp and we train hard since, well, we've been in camp since January.
I know I've asked you this before, but are you never going to fight again on the same card? I know you did it once.
No, we're never going to fight on the same card again. One, because I like to be ringside and she likes to be ringside for me. Two, obviously fight week, you have a bunch of people around you which, you know, each, like obviously, I don't know, it can be hard, it can be stressful, so she takes the stress off me when I'm boxing and vice versa. And that's just the way we like it, obviously, and yeah, it just works.
Lauren, many congratulations once again. Enjoy the victory. The belt looks absolutely lovely. Your name will be engraved on it soon, I'm guessing, as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see you in. I'm sure Karis will be looking forward to seeing me definitely in Bournemouth.
Well, she gives you some stick, but yeah, obviously on the beach show, maybe I can have an ice cream then as well. So enjoy it down there.
Lauren Price, IFL TV. Thank you very much.
I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt rings.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,